What's up, folks? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about Waves. Waves is had some serious growth, and I spoke about it about a month ago when it was around $18, and I said, I did a video saying it will hit $50, which it has done. So I want to actually look at what's happening with Waves right now and what it can achieve. Before I do, as always, update the spreadsheet. These are the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel, ones that I was bullish on. Ones that I held. I do invested $100 into each of these when I release videos about them. You're still holding all that crypto. You'd be in profit for a little over 48 grand. These are no longer the coins I hold. If you want to see the coins that I own, you can come check out Copy My Cryptos, where I share every coin I buy, every coin I sell, how I'm preparing my portfolio in this market, how I perceive the market as moving on sort of a daily basis. The last 2 weeks have been very, very easy to talk about the market because it's quite clear where it's been going. If you want to know where the market is going, you can always come and check out Copy My Crypto. One thing I continuously reiterate, guys, build your spreadsheet, build your list of coins that you're excited about for the long term. That is key. It's an ongoing process. You should always be doing it if you're in this space. I've been building a list for years of coins that long term I think are exceptional. When the bear cycle kicks in and they're retracing, they're partnering, they're working towards their roadmap. If they're doing those things, then they've got a chance of being 50x's, 100x's. That's what I did with Phantom, and that's what I'm doing now. And if you want to know which coins I'm looking at when the bear cycle kicks in, then come check out Copy My Crypto. Link is in the description. All right, Waves. So Waves is at $50 right now. When I spoke about it, it was around 18, just a matter of about 4 weeks ago. And it's obviously had some seriously exponential growth. So there's a few reasons for this. Now, first thing that sort of was like a reasonably pivotal sort of moment was the founder just sort of coming out and highlighting that he's Ukrainian. He effectively marketed himself by doing that. He was playing on, to some degree, the feelings around what's happening in Ukraine at the moment, and it wasn't just that, but that's smart marketing. But obviously they'd announced Waves 2.0 and some shifts in how the Waves is going to proceed. So I'll talk about that in a sec. So this article just sort of covers exactly what's going to happen with Waves. It's made the highest jump out of the top 100 and had a 55% price surge. Traded at $49, and it flew up to about $54, $55, and now it's hovering around the $50 level. What one would expect. Now, there's a hint at a pullback to potentially $42-ish. But there's been a few things happening. So they announced the launch of a US-based venture called Wave Labs. It also announced about the migration to Waves 2.0, and it also created a partnership with Allbridge. Those are all significant things. So in terms of, this is more of a tech-based, like a TA-based article. I'm not too asked about that right now. So Wave Labs is looking to be the growth engine for Waves ecosystem. And when we actually look at what they're talking about, they're talking about large-scale implementation of Waves. So their use cases are product authenticity, loan tokenization, medical records, cross-border payments, supply chain, and Internet of Things, as well as some e-voting, right management, cash pooling. E-voting is one of those things that I think is inevitable. I'd be surprised if we see e-voting in any superpower type countries. I wouldn't expect America or anywhere to start rushing through on that, but that will come down the line. Supply chain's key. Right now, supply chain have major issues across the world, particularly in the UK. We've had some major issues with supply chain. So the potential for blockchains to improve that are apparent. We've seen VeChain become the king of the supply chain for a reason. They're working with billion-dollar companies. So Waves Labs bodes well in terms of really pushing and growing the Waves ecosystem. And they aspire, and they talk about the aspirations of Waves. It aspires to make the most of blockchain with minimal carbon footprint. This is a narrative that we're seeing more of, and I've spoken about this for a long while now. And we're seeing multiple blockchains really pushing that narrative because they know fundamentally they have to. Governments care about that. Citizens care about that. That's why you're seeing dumbasses like Chris Hansen talking about, the Ripple co-founder talking about trying to change Bitcoin's algorithm. It's like, come on. So Waves Labs is a big deal because it's going to push a growth in Waves. Waves 2.0 is a big deal because it's going to be proof of stake with sharding. They're working toward, they're becoming what Ethereum's been working towards for years. And what Waves has going for it is the cost per transaction is very little. And the daily transactions is pretty good. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good. It could do with being a bit faster, would be my point, but not bad. Now, in terms of Waves, there are a couple things I'm not a huge fan of, because they've had a lot of growth, and one thing I'd not spoken about is Neutrino, which seems to have been the reason for the huge run in total value locked in Waves, which is skyrocketed compared to what it was previously. So obviously that's helped in terms of the growth of Waves. Now, right now, what we notice with Waves is that there are sort of 107.8 million circulating at the moment, but there's no max cap. And that, to some degree, is a concern to me. I would like to see a max cap if it continues to inflate throughout history. In terms of supply, there's a limit to how high the price can go. But in terms of a company, in terms of a team, in terms of a business, they're looking good. They're looking good. Realistically, I'd say $100 is achievable. I don't think anything else. I don't think it can go much more than that. $100 will put it at about market cap of 10.8-ish billion, which is certainly achievable. The question is, how well do they do when we start seeing an expansion in their ecosystem? That's key. That's absolutely key. And Waves has potential in that regard. Neutrino that has, like I said, it's resulting in huge growth. We're talking 3 billion locked in. It's a good protocol. It's a good protocol. Enables the creation of stablecoins pegged to real-world assets like national currencies or commodities. There's a reason that's garnered a lot of total value locked out of nowhere. They've also got a lot of total value locked in Virus Finance, which is their version of Aave. Again, pretty damn good. What we need to start seeing from the Waves ecosystem is growth in sectors that are going to grow. Because yes, DeFi is going to have another run. I've spoken about DeFi multiple occasions, so I'm not going to get into that too much. But their DeFi protocol look good. Their gaming projects don't. They need to grow. In terms of the biggest growth sectors in crypto, I've said this before. Gaming is obviously going to be one. NFTs are going to continue, even with the oversaturation of the market right now for NFTs. They're going to grow. Gaming has to grow. Gaming is inevitable that it grows. So I'd want to be seeing far more growth in the gaming sector within the Waves ecosystem. That would push Waves to another level, because right now their DeFi is good. The DeFi is good. It could do with it's small in terms of an ecosystem, but it can. But the protocols that are in place are good. They need some additional options and some additional variation. I don't see too much. Well, I don't see anything in terms of launch pads, and launch pads are a big draw, particularly on Ethereum and Binance. So Waves could do with with a launch pad developing. Waves could do, and Waves need growth in games. Unequivocally, they need growth in games, because they're going to get left behind in that regard, because they're already so far behind. And I do like it ish, but my concern is we're not seeing enough development in the gaming sector or the NFT sector, or really there needs to be growth in DeFi. The ecosystem's too small, which is why Waves Labs has been created. So this should provide a real opportunity for, starting to see incubator projects through the incubator. That should do really well. That should grow this ecosystem at a better and faster rate, because growth is important. You look at Solana. Solana's had so much success because their ecosystem has grown. Not just that the tech is good, and of course the tech is good, but they're growing always. Ethereum, why is it the number 2 in the market cap? Because they had first mover advantage on smart contracts, and Ethereum's ecosystem is second to none in terms of size. Binance Smart Chain, second biggest ecosystem, sorry, and it's like the third biggest market cap because their ecosystem grows. So just saw the guy that really doesn't like Waves. Yeah, their next thing is growing, because right now there's a real argument to be made that the price is too high, and a correction probably does have to come to some degree. Although the market right now obviously looks like it's going to explode, and we probably will see tomorrow some significant market moves at the beginning of the month. And Waves can still move up a leg. But the thing that can catapult Waves up to that sort of $100 mark, which is what I'm talking about, which I do believe it can hit, is growth in their ecosystem. So Wave Labs makes sense that as a concept helped push the Waves price forward. Moving to implementing proof of stake with sharding, effectively like Waves 2.0 makes sense why that's pushed the market price forward. People are excited. Even the founder coming out and just sort of highlighting that he's Ukrainian, highlighting that the seriousness of the situation in Ukraine certainly garnered some level of exposure to Waves. And I'm not saying that loads of people invested because they felt bad that he's Ukrainian, but what it probably did was go, I didn't realize there was a Ukrainian founder of a crypto, and then people that are interested in crypto started looking at Waves and liked it, which was smart, by the way, very smart. And I'm presuming that's the reason he did it. It might just have been, an issue of support for his country, which fair play to him as well. But in terms of marketing, if that was his reason, sound, and it worked very, very well. So what's next for them is growth. In terms of their future success, it rides on a growth in that ecosystem. That's the key thing. If they start building projects that can be pivotal to supply chain, if they start building projects that are game metaverse based and people are playing on a consistent basis, that bodes very, very well. DeFi, they need to grow that ecosystem still. It's good. It's really good. The couple key projects that they've got are very, very good, but they still need to grow that. A launch pad would do very, very great things for Waves. So right now, I'm not a huge fan off of the basis that I think right now the price is too high. I think there's probably presuming, well, there's got to be a correction coming for Waves, even if it's a small one down to, a little bit below 50, 40, 45 maybe. And I don't think it's a great entry point right now, but it still can hit 100. I'd also like to see a definitive max supply, and at least with when we see other cryptos with a max supply, when you just off the simple basis of Bitcoin, we know how many there's ever going to be, and it does add an element of scarcity, which we don't see in Waves right now. So again, something like that, or even implementing a burn mechanism on transactions, on the fees for transactions, so there's a level of deflation within it, would all be good to see. And they might have that in. I haven't checked, but they might have put that in now. But yeah, all in, still think it can hit 100 this year. I think it will retrace significantly in a bear cycle, but I think this can still hit 100. I would, but the faster that they grow that ecosystem, the faster that will occur. That's their key now for me. But very interesting. And like I said, it felt fairly obvious that this was going to run up to $50 just off of the basis of the announcements that had been made corresponding with a point where they were gaining more exposure. And you can see it from the trading volumes start skyrocketing at the beginning of this month. So yeah, let's see how it plays. But yeah, I think 100. Guys, what do you guys think of Waves? Do you like it? Is it one you're invested in? If it's not, why? Let me know in the comments. Do you think I've missed anything? Because I spoke about gaming and I spoke about NFTs. Is there anything else I missed in terms of a category within crypto that would really benefit the Waves ecosystem? Because there might be one. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think. Maybe AI. I mean, I still think AI is going to grow like mad. Yeah, let me know in the comments. As always, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, then you know when new content's coming out. And that's it from me. If you're new to crypto or you've been in crypto a while, not happy with the balance of your portfolio, not happy with how you're seeing the market right now, then you can come see exactly what I'm doing. And like I said, when a bear cycle kicks in, and there will be one, you can see exactly the coins that I'm interested in long term, and when I think they're doing those significant retracements, or those significant they're significantly hitting the key targets on their roadmap, and I think they can 50x, 100x. I'm going to be pointing that out. And if you want to know what I think could be one of the next great long-term 100x's, click the link in the description and check it out. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.